Hello everyone, welcome to another Life Protocol video. So in this video we'll be talking about the ISFP personality type and try to identify the reason why one of the most colorful types can fall into a gray and dark pattern. ISFPs are known for being sensitive, artistic, and adventurous, often seen as warm, spontaneous, and adaptable. They value authenticity and creativity and are known for having a deep appreciation for beauty, especially the beauty of nature. They often express themselves through art, music, and other creative outlets. So how do individuals that are so attuned to beauty and have such a simple and friendly demeanor are able to fall so deep into their dark side, and what does that look like? Like I always say, to find that out we need to take a closer look into their cognitive functions. ISFPs have as their dominant function introverted feeling, or FI, or what I like to call in my theory of traumas, the trauma of neglect. So people who experience deep neglect feel like their feelings are not validated, they feel ignored and unimportant. People who went through the trauma of neglect, they often struggle with setting healthy limits. They might either keep their boundaries too tight or let them too loose. This can make them feel exhausted or like others are taking advantage of them in relationships because they really have no basis or a fully drawn out concept of how healthy relationships should be. This can be with their own kin, friendships, romantic. They can easily be taken advantage of. In other words, ISFPs are normally naive. And this might as well be the main cause why ISFPs fall into their dark side. ISFPs, for lack of a better words, they are simpler creatures. Now, this doesn't mean that they are simple, but their tastes are normally very accessible. But they don't want to know the inner workings of an engine or the intricate way stars are formed. They are true sensors, and that means that they look for immediate and concrete experiences. ISFPs are probably the type that I feel for the most because of their more childish demeanor. It's like they were built without any sort of mental armor or any means of self-defense. The way they fight back is by dwelling deeper and deeper into themselves and reclusing from the world to the point of giving up on the world, or should I say giving up on people entirely. But that's not the real dark side of the ISFPs. The point where I see ISFPs fully engaging with their dark side is when they turn what was done to them and do it onto others. ISFPs, when fully jaded, can try to trick and manipulate other people, and this is really hard on them because of their dominant function, introverted feeling. Introverted feeling, or the trauma of neglect, like I call it, has a very strong component of always wanting to uphold the emotions, the emotional side of humans. And by that I mean that ISFPs in their normal state really don't want to be of any inconvenience to others or cause any emotional hardship on anyone. Because they know all too well how devastating it can be to feel the lingering feeling of rejection and neglect, they strive to never inflict that pain on others, and for them to bypass their main directive, it means that they have to be extremely jaded to the point of having given up on the world and, in extreme cases, on life itself. It's a tragedy because they start off pure at their heart, and they would remain like that. They would not really change much throughout their lives if it weren't for the negative experiences they suffer, right? So, and to aggravate things, another aspect of introverted feeling is the heightened sensitivity. This means that any betrayal, treachery, deceit, breach of trust will be felt tenfold. So it really doesn't take too much to really hurt an ISFP. But luckily, the way they are easily hurt can also be said about the way they can find pleasure in life. Going for a walk, appreciating nature, or immersing themselves in any sort of art project, traveling. All these are quick means that allows them to bounce back into a state closer to normality. Okay, we've spoken about the dangers of their dominant function of introverted feeling becoming corrupted. Let's explore now the dangers of their secondary function, SE, extrovert sensing, or what I like to call the trauma of incarceration or having their freedom stripped away from them when it becomes corrupted. Being a secondary function, it is by nature more balanced and normally much harder to become corrupted, but it doesn't mean that it can't contribute to the overall corrupted state of the person. To be clear, SC, or the trauma of incarceration, manifests by driving its users to seek immediate experiences. SC can be detrimental when it has an impulsive and immediate effect, especially if ISFPs become deeply disillusioned with life and people. It may push them to make abrupt changes to their situation without properly pondering the consequences of their actions, which can lead to poor decisions and very bad outcomes. Like falling into a lifestyle they can't afford, spending money they don't have, not pondering the consequences of their actions long term, sacrificing the future in favor of the present. SE makes them want to experience the present, like traveling, spending too much money on their hobbies in an unsustainable way, eventually culminating in financial instability, strained relationships, or a cycle of dissatisfaction as they struggle to maintain the fleeting pleasures they've prioritized. This short-sighted focus on immediate gratification can lead to regret, missed opportunities for growth, and a lack of long-term stability or fulfillment. And if they are already jaded and disillusioned with people who took advantage of their childish nature and naivety, they themselves, the ISFPs, will take advantage of other people in order to finance the lifestyle they cannot afford, which pushes them further into going against their morals, making them feel guilty and ultimately spiraling them out of control. It's a very dangerous path for ISFPs to fall into, and one that they really are not equipped to handle. So they recluse themselves further and further into their own little world that just becomes smaller and smaller, and they end up having shallow and superficial relationships with other people. I always say understanding breeds acceptance, but in this case I say understanding is crucial, because it's a tragedy when how easy it is to transform pure-hearted people into dark and disillusioned versions of themselves. ISFPs can bring so much beauty and purity into the world, but their light can also dim when their inner world collapses under the weight of deceit. So how can we help ISFPs avoid this downward spiral and nurture their sensitive souls? First, we need to understand that ISFPs need to feel seen. They need to feel heard, to be validated. Their feelings need to be validated because of the trauma of neglect. Their dominant introverted feeling, FI, craves authentic emotional connections. When they are surrounded by people who truly appreciate their feelings and artistic expressions, because they are very artistic, it can reignite their sense of trust in the world. We can also help them by tapping into their secondary function, extroverted sensing, or the trauma of incarceration or having their freedom stripped away from them. In a healthy way, SE can rejuvenate them, as ISFPs thrive when they are engaged with the world through their senses, whether it's a hike in nature, dancing, painting, or just listening to music that they enjoy. These experiences can ground them and reconnect them to the simple joys that they naturally gravitate towards. So, like I always say, understanding breeds acceptance and creates a better world for everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.
If you liked the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. That will allow us to keep making more videos like this. For more related content, please click on one of the suggested videos. Thank you for watching.